All right, we're still live. We're still on the record, and we're ready to address the matter of People versus Stephen Ray Kaufman. File number is 251634FY. Mr. Kaufman is here with his attorney, Ross Truckee. Also present is Angelique Camfield from the prosecutor's office, and Nicole Hagaboo, formerly Nicole Sigler, is also present. She's here with us by Zoom. Mr. Kaufman, I appreciate your keeping us apprised on what your traffic difficulties were, and I appreciate you getting here on time in a snowstorm.
Barely.
Yes, well, you're here, and that means you take the matter seriously. You were charged with aggravated stalking, which is a felony, and you entered a plea to a misdemeanor charge of stalking. That plea was entered on December 2nd. I set the matter for sentencing for today. I wanted to get more information about the matter and make sure that Ms. Sigler had an opportunity to be heard on this. And so here we are. So I'll start with you, Mr. Truckee. What would you like me to know?
Thank you, Your Honor. Around March of 2025, the wheels fell off for Mr. Kaufman. He found himself facing a divorce, a change of scenery, cleaving apart of a relationship that he'd been invested in, and he did not handle it in the way that society expects or requires for adults to handle those situations. He had a very hard time kind of accepting his former partner's change in position, and he acted out. He was harassing, and he pled to this charge. He pled to the stalking charge. He repeatedly contacted her. A PPO was issued. There were violations of the PPO. Mr. Kaufman did not comport himself well during this time. And it's my belief that he's rather humiliated by this and the way he acted when he was in that situation. The saving grace, if we can call it that, is that at some point he was arrested at the end of March, lodged, and got the brakes slammed and got shook up a little bit. He ended up on felony probation that he's been compliant with. It's my understanding that there's been no further conduct since the end of March of this year. So that little bit of intervention by the state's power was able to kind of shake him out of his negative situation and his obsessive behavior and allow him to try to regroup. So here he is trying to regroup. He's made his court appearances. He entered a plea in this again. He's done some jail time between this case and a resisting case and a larceny case, all of which really did kind of orbit around this divorce. I would ask that the court consider time served and fines and costs. I don't know if the court would want to duplicate a probation period because he is on felony.
I do have a concern about that, doing 2 probations. But we'll see. I do have a question, Mr. Kaufman. At some point, you were in the LaGrange County Jail back last February. You got served with this PPO while you were in jail on LaGrange. What were you in jail in LaGrange County for?
I got pulled over for illegal tags. My tags were expired, and I got caught with meth, and I had some guns with me.
Are you done with everything in Indiana?
No, I'm supposed to go to court next month for that.
So that hasn't yet been resolved?
No.
Have you pled?
They offered me a plea deal that I was gonna accept. We just haven't it got postponed until January.
All right, so you're going to LaGrange County in January?
Yes.
All
I
right.
don't remember the date offhand, but it's coming up. I know that.
Okay. All right, Ms. Camfield, what's your thought here?
Well, Your Honor, I know that the victim does wish to speak to the court, as the court's already indicated, but this is an instance, even though it was reduced to a misdemeanor stalking, the communications and contacts were in violation of a personal protection order that was obtained. She did fear the defendant. She still fears the defendant. There were, by my information, over 31 separate contacts made that violated the protection order, texts, phone calls, driving by the house. And I know she feels that she and her children are not safe because of the defendant's stalking behavior. And it got to the extent that he even cut the Wi-Fi line to the house so that the cameras, the security cameras that were on the yard and driveway and whatnot were not operative, so that he could come to the home unaware for the residents. That is very concerning behavior. I don't think that he is safe, and I don't think that it warrants just a fines and costs as the defense has requested. I would like to see frankly, the maximum jail on this, and then he can go to LaGrange and deal with the potential felony offenses there.
So you're asking for a 1-year sentence?
Well, Your Honor, I guess I would be willing to do less than the 1 year.
Well, let me ask this.
Maybe
If it was,
6 months, because of the continued nature of the contacts and the length of time over which it occurred. And these things were not just observed by the victim and people that she knew. There was an officer present that observed this behavior as well.
and he made the arrest then in August, but if it was that urgent, why did they go from March 27th to August 4th before they even authorized it? And then another 3 months before they served the warrant?
Your Honor, I'd also like to place an objection regarding the cutting the Wi-Fi. There's not been a finding that defendant engaged in that conduct.
Well, those were allegations, I guess.
Well,
I
it's
know
in
we didn't have I don't think we had a PPO violation hearing. I was always troubled by the delay between the conduct and the charge, and between the charge and the arrest. Because as far as I could tell, nothing has happened since March of 2025, or at least early April. The defendant bonded out of circuit court on April 8th. And then this didn't get authorized until August 4th. So we have April, May, June, July, 4.5 months where apparently nothing happens, and they get the warrant and it doesn't get served, and he's on probation. It should have been very easy to find. The R&O charge was dismissed, and he pled to uttering a publishing case. He's on felony probation, and now the prosecutor asked me to give you a year in jail, and I'm trying to reconcile all of that.
Well, Your Honor, I don't know the reason for the delays, and there was further investigation requested for body cam and digital evidence, in addition to probably the number of communications having to be put together in order for this to rise to a level of a stalking offense being requested. But I don't think the delay negates the defendant's prior conduct, nor do I think that the delay negates the fact that since he hasn't done anything since April or May, that he should just get fines and costs for this. This is an instance in which he was repetitively violating a court's order and placing this victim in fear. Yes, I'm grateful that he hasn't done it since he was put in jail for some of it. However, I think that he should receive more jail, not only as a punishment for the behavior that did place this victim in fear, but as a deterrent to others that we've seen in this community that do keep repetitively violating this court's protection orders. Not only bond conditions, but personal protection orders.
Well, they never, as far as I can tell, had a hearing regarding violation of the PPO.
Mr. Kaufman does report he was held on a PPO violation, but I'm unsure of how that resolved.
I got 3 days served for it.
All right. I don't know.
I mean, I guess if he's not going to be on supervision here, and he's most likely going to be on supervision in circuit court for a little bit longer or in LaGrange County, and this court's not doing a probation with respect to this particular behavior, that is all the basis for my recommendation of a pretty lengthy jail term.
Well, one problem, if I put him in our jail, he can't go to his hearing in LaGrange in January, which is probably going to result in a jail or prison sentence in Indiana. If I put him in jail here, it's going to delay his court appearance in the state of Indiana. And that is causes issues. Well, Ms. Sigler, Ms. Hagabo, you've been here listening to all this. I appreciate your being here. I'm glad you didn't have to drive here in a blizzard. What would you like me to know?
Well, I wrote the letter to you. And then I've previously filled out the victim's rights form. I just want this resolved and I want him to stay away from me and my family. I don't know if he's, I know he hasn't texted or called, and I don't know if he hasn't drove by the house. We didn't know what he was driving until the last court date, but I just want him to leave us alone. And I want him to get something out of it because he had said several times that he didn't care what the court said or the cop said. He was going to do what he wants. And even Ali answered the phone several times when he called, and he disregarded what Ali was telling him. And he disregarded what Bill Burgoyne was telling him also.
Well, in your letter, does everybody have her letter of December 3rd?
I do.
Yes.
All right. I was going to ask him about this. There's a pink elephant in the room, which is methamphetamine. And people do crazy stuff on methamphetamine. Now, you two weren't actually married, were you?
Yes.
Okay. And at what point were you divorced?
I think it was April.
All right. So I guess I knew that. And as you noted, I did your most recent wedding here at the courthouse. So you were still married at the time this was going on. And subsequent to that, in April of 25, you got divorced.
Right.
All right. Has he contacted you at all since the divorce?
When I filed divorce, it was in March. And when we were in the divorce phase, and that he was still in jail. So the whole divorce proceedings happened while he was in jail.
And where were you divorced?
In St. Joseph County.
All right. Okay. So then once he got out of jail, you were divorced?
Right. I believe.
All right.
Yes.
And have you had any contact with him since you were divorced?
No.
Okay. All right. And basically, you've got a new marriage. You want to just go on with your life and have him stay away from you and your family. Is that correct?
Right.
And you and he do not have any children together. That's also correct?
Correct.
All right. And the things that Ms. Canfield spoke to in her statements come directly from the victim impact statement and that letter of December 3rd about all the travail that they went through as a result of this. All right. Having said all that, Mr. Kaufman, I was going to ask you about methamphetamine. You're on probation right now to the circuit court. The resisting and obstructing charge ended up getting dismissed, and you're on a uttering and publishing charge, which is kind of a strange, not related to any of this. Are you on testing conditions with your probation agent?
Yes.
So when did you last do a drug or alcohol test?
That was the last time I reported.
All right, so
I don't remember the date. It was this
is
month.
things got better when you stopped doing meth?
Oh, yes, yes.
All right, Ms. Singler, I don't know if I cut you off. You did share your letter, which was well-written. You had your victim impact statement, which I also read. And so this conduct happened in March. He went to jail. You got divorced. He never had any further contact after the divorce. The warrant issued in August, as Ms. Camfield stated, sometimes it takes a while to get all the information together. Then it didn't get served until 3 months after that in November. So between March 27th and the time he actually got arrested, there had not been any more misconduct. He posted bond on the attempted R&O, I think on April 8th. No, on the uttering and publishing. It looked like the other case, the attempted R&O, he didn't get out till it was dismissed on the 20, on a subsequent date. So it looked to me like he had 12 days plus 17 days for 29 days jail so far in this case. I think I have a plan here, but Mr. Kaufman, I didn't let you finish either. What would you like to tell me?
Just that, I've lost everything since I've done all that. I haven't denied anything I've done. And like her, I want to move on too. I haven't went around her or the house. I haven't drove by the house. I haven't contacted her. I'm ready for this to be behind me. So I'm not proud of it. I apologize to her. I apologize to everybody here for having to go through this too. I'm just ready for it to be over with. I gotta go through my LaGrange stuff now.
Yes. Well, I don't want to put you in jail and have you miss your LaGrange County dates coming after the first of the year. So I'm going to do a 6-month probation. I'm going to order 90 days jail, credit 29, leaving 61 days to serve. Of the 90 days ordered, 61 are deferred. So you're not going to jail. I'm going to do a probation, double probation, but the only condition is, well, there's a couple, no drugs and no alcohol. Report for all LaGrange County requirements. Proceedings, we'll call them. No drugs, no alcohol, no contact with Nicole Hugaboo. No contact. The fine is $0. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, and a $150 attorney fee. That's $375. Excuse me, $275. I'm not going to put you on a probation oversight fee because you're already paying a probation oversight fee to circuit court. And you're right, you owned it. You didn't deny it. it was bad. Miss Campfield's right, and Miss Hogaboo's right. It was bad. You're on a probation here in St. Joseph County on a circuit court matter. Your drug testing, there's probably a condition you not have any contact in that case. So there's no sense doing all that here. But I'm going to do a provision that you not have any contact with her. You report for all of your LaGrange County proceedings. If you end up being sentenced to a jail term or worse in LaGrange County, I can discharge this probation. But I want something hanging over your head until that's completed. So my probation department's going, well, what am I supposed to do? But I'm also say comply with circuit court probation. That $275 is going to be due by March 1st. This is a 6-month probation, which theoretically could be terminated at the end of 3 months. I just want to control over it until your LaGrange County matters are resolved. To your credit, you haven't done anything since you got out of jail in April to violate either the PPO or any bond conditions. As Ms. Canfield said, that doesn't erase everything that happened before, but it's a good start. All right, if you do what I ask you to do, you're not going to do any more jail time. You take that downstairs to the probation department. And what I hope to hear about this is nothing. I hope you go resolve your LaGrange County matters. We don't have any further issues. Ms. Hogaboo, if there is any contact or any perceived violation of this, you can contact the victim advocate at the prosecutor's office or contact our probation department immediately and somebody will take action. What I'm hoping is that it'll continue to go as it has. He goes on with his life and you go on with yours. All right. Anything else you wish to ask or state? All right.
Well, the people do have a question.
Yes.
We've now been made aware that during his bond for a stalking charge, he was arrested with the potential of possession of weapons and drugs. Just curious if that would be a potential violation of probation if he's convicted.
I don't know.
It preceded that. That happened in February. He wasn't. He was served with a PPO while he was in jail in LaGrange County.
Okay,
So it preceded all of this.
thank you.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Hogaboo, thank you. Best to you. You're good to go. And
Thank you.
this record's completed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Go downstairs to probation and they'll tell you what to do next. And good luck going out in the blizzard.